Hello guys, welcome back to my channel Cosmic Drifter Scale, and today well first of all I need to say something. I was away due to some psychological reason because of some unfortunate events that occurred in life. I was away, and due to that my follow-up habit of uploading a video, even if I'm not very consistent about it, my entire habit of uploading videos, shorts, etc. All of them was disrupted, and I was not in a mood. I was very lazy. But you know what? When such things happen in your life, in such situations, all we need is a spark, a fire, or some kind of motivation. And I think I received that. This dude here, this dude's name, I don't know what was his name. Something like, Samurai Capcut. Yeah, more like a samurai. Asked her if we were real. Like, if we were to evaluate his rebuttals in a 60-minute video of LARPing, you will come to a conclusion that it is not a rebuttal. Those are not rebuttals at all. Like, he spent his whole video nitpicking some grammatical mistakes which never contributed to confusions in my scale. And not to mention, right now I'm speaking, I'm not conducting any grammatical mistakes either. And you see, this dude really needs to understand complex Turing concepts and system, and understand why something is like that and not like this. Like, this is not my arrogance or any type of all over your head protagonist behavior. This is my fucking observation I conducted, and the result I yielded. I will explain step by step why you, samurai, you are actually not a scalar. You are just a wannabe scalar, a LARP, with no knowledge or any type of skill in this particular, let's say, let's not call this a profession, since I don't consider core scaling as a profession, but more like discipline or anything. So yeah, I will show why you suck at this. And your claim one. Your claim one is, my claim here was that EV doesn't have reality manipulation, because reality manipulation in a fictional context, which you wrote their fiction context, is not the same as spatial manipulation in a fictional sense. Trying to claim that reality and space are exactly the same thing is logically incoherent. So that is your argument here, dude. You are actually arguing against a version of my claim that I never made. You are lecturing me like I don't know that. It doesn't matter actually. I never said every instance of reality manipulation in fiction is spatial manipulation or spatial temporal manipulation. I'm talking about this setting in One Punch Man. The feats being discussed here are explicitly rooted in space-time and spatial coordinates. Not every feats, but some feats. Actually, they are actually rooted means they are dependent upon the space-time and space. Like, I never said that every feat is completely abstract conceptual level or spatial coordination level. No, I didn't say that. I didn't say it's probability or narrative manipulation. Like, the cosmology and the abilities show to operate through the structure of the space-time itself rather than some abstract or immaterial. Like, you are actually bringing the concept of reality manipulation, trying to lecture me. Meanwhile, reality manipulation in fiction is like a whole umbrella level. Like, you don't actually know that, because when you say that reality manipulation fiction is not the same as a spatial manipulation, it is true in a general statement, because a reality manipulation is like a category of umbrella category. A character could manipulate a probability, memories, concept, fake realities, dream realities, probability-based realities, causality, and some types of laws of physics-based reality, super reality, without ever directly wrapping geometrics or space. So this is abstract reality manipulation. Actually, they are reliable. They are understandable. And if you're talking about a general claim, it is not false at all. Actually, I am disagreeing with you because we are not generalized. We are not talking about a general matter here. We are talking about OPM here. We're talking about One Punch Man. And empty void has shown the feat of wrapping reality with his own hand while the reality around him is becoming so slimy, like some kind of curtains, like it's like distorted, and because of his force, his nature. That's the reality manipulation I talked there, because that is space-time manipulation. Actually, I'm not talking about space-time manipulation on the level where you can actually view the spatio-temporal factors like past, present, or futures. It is not completely necessary. Actually, not necessary at all, because spatio-temporal coordinates around different areas of the universe and of the multiverse, they does not hold a continuous causal chain, since many cosmological factors like MW and others, they don't actually prove that the space-time continuum there is actually having the same based past or present or future as a complete need necessity. No, that doesn't actually happen there. And you are like, oh, the space-time manipulation is not same as the reality manipulation. Yeah, dude, I don't disagree. Okay, what's your deal? I don't understand. Because the space-time manipulation is not actually a single indivisible ability. It is actually a broad category encompassing many distinct operations on the space-time itself. Like controlling one aspect of space-time does not automatically grant control over every other aspect, like ability to view future, past. Like, no, not at all. Because in both physics-inspired fiction and as well as any non-physics inspired fiction, which also have generic fictional concept based on portal mechanism and space-time, they can also include the abilities such as bending space, folding distance, creating portals, slowing or accelerating time, reversing local time, creating temporal loops, distorting causalities. These are like high tiers. From the low tiers like bending space-time to a complete causal manipulation over the physical space-time and everything else. Like these all are manipulation of space-time, but they involve different mechanisms and produce different effects. There is no longer a rule that says that possessing one operation necessarily grants every other operation at all. Like viewing the past, present, and future across all space-time location is much of a specific causality manipulation based ability rather than merely a space-time based ability, because it requires access to information distributed throughout the space-time manifold, not merely about the ability to alter or distort the space-time. Like a character could tear holes in space, fold dimensions, or travel through the time without possessing omniscient knowledge of every event that will exist or can't exist. Like applying this to OPM, empty void actually manipulates spatial coordinates and interact with the higher dimensional space-time structure, because this 3D here is not separable from the time aspect, because OPM has theory of relativity as well, which intertwines the space-time, and EV is able to manipulate. He is able to grab these particular manifold there, like it's some kind of curtain or cloth, and hiding behind that, where even blast, who have the ability to actually operate on a multiversal interdimensional traveling level, where he's able to pinpoint these coordinates and location. He's not even able to understand and track down where Blast is. Because when he is able to manipulate the reality, he's actually manipulating the baseline 4D reality, because entirety of the spatio-temporality factor is actually manipulated right there, because it is intertwined. Of course, OPM allows that, and you are like, oh no, it is still different. Fiction has shown reality manipulation where it is not the same as the spatio-temporal manipulation. Fuck you, I know that. But in our context, it is about more of a spatio-temporal manipulation, because OPM allows that. So you're actually not countering anything. Your rebuttal sucks. Like, if you see that particular panel in where the empty void actually grabs the space-time like curtain, it is pretty much a famous, it is a manga panel which most people appreciates. It is very famous and circulated, actually it is circulated around many power scaling forums, discussion centers and everything else. So if you actually view that, if you take a proper observational contact at that, you will see something. Empty void's feat is not just simply like some cause, like a case of spatial dissolution or ordinary teleportation there, because it occurs within a setting like OPM, which explicitly treats space and time as unified space-time framework due to theory of relativity being present in them. And of course, the series establishes the fact that Blast, his portal, functions through dimensions associated within space-time, like different dimensions, meaning his movement is not actually confined to a conventional three-dimensional space actually, but already it kind of operates within the broader spatio-temporal structure of the setting itself. I'm not saying explicitly beyond everything else, but on an enhanced level. Consequently, Blast necessarily demonstrates the localized spatio-temporal navigation and many other, integrative temporality and many other operations here were conducted, and the feats which we have observed. So he is able to track sufficient to traverse the framework in the combat, which is something without actually denied. And despite this, empty void manipulates the fabric of reality itself. Not the totality of the reality, but the particular localized reality, to the point that it is slightly like a curtain. The reality is structured like a curtain. That feed distributes actually. Like if a character whose ability explicitly function through space-time cannot really follow or perceive the target of the manipulation. The feed is operating. I'm alive, it's still going to keep that vibe. More than a simple spatial me and the guys, just like I never in the hills, it's talking Frenchies, but she thinking that she fine. No, she keep her open mouth and open. I know she open mine. I need less stress and I need more time. Press poppin' with the trials. Relies upon like the plays, like there's also the feed within the enhanced four-dimensional plus spatio-temporal manipulation in the context of the series, where Blast, he is able to travel between dimensions that also existing between space-time itself. Actually, the physical space-time consists of a physical causality, and any type of higher dimension or a lower dimensional constant within a cosmological structure or within a theoretical application, they actually treat space-time like a bulk or a sheet. Like they actually add a lot of space-time or actually treat space-time like a base. But dimensions, they can't exist between space-time. What I'm telling you is that he doesn't even actually understand. This person, he actually is blind to the fact that last who is able to interact between dimension that exists between space-time, which also conventionally violates and surpasses the physical dimensional need, where physical causality for physical dimensionality is depend upon space-time and other structures as well. Because dimensions between space-time? No. Actually, no theoretical model suggests that actually. So you cannot actually say that the dimension between space-time is 4D or 3D or 5D, because the very conventional definition and existent, and the requirements for a 4-dimensional, 5-dimensional, 6-dimensional, they don't actually allow anything to exist between space-time or dimension between space-time. So this is obviously a level of feat. We can actually conclude that Blast is also someone who is who has the ability to perceive higher dimensional, non-dimensional and extra-dimensional perception, traversals, and many other temporal factors and spatio-temporal, knowledge. That's it. Meanwhile, empty void is also the same dude who actually did something so ridiculous that his reality manipulation was so strong that the same Blast couldn't even find him. And now, while empty void actually manipulate that framework, demonstrate that influence over the same spatio-temporal structure at a level to sufficiently evade its normal methods of navigation and tracking. That's what I'm talking about. And this dude, here, the ass cut, the fucking Capcut, he doesn't understand people. He don't want to understand that. These are the same people who say that something exists between space-time, a unified space-time is 4D or 5D, because why? Where's the source? No, I don't have the source, but I fucking made it cause I don't want to see OPM or any other fiction with such level of feat being above my favorite fiction. I don't allow that. This is what these people are. So please don't get manipulated by these idiots. Now let's get to another point. Also, do you remember that? You said you will teach me how time travel mechanism works in OPM. You spat in my face like you don't know any shit about time traveling or anything within One Punch Man. Something like you said that. Okay, buddy, you said it that you argued that it is Feynman Interpretation. What's happening there is Feynman Interpretation. And then you are like, yeah, that's it. But let me tell you something. Let me tell this to everyone who's watching this video. This dude here, he doesn't know shit about Feynman Interpretation. Because you have to recheck the scenario that happened in OPM and then connect it to Feynman Interpretation and tell me where is the connection or a correlation exists. Like in the scenario of OPM, like let me tell you, the reason Stueckelberg interpretation is not a theory that is applicable or something which you can use to correlate in OPM or the time travel mechanism in OPM is because It is not a fucking interpretation of superpowers, time manipulation, or any antimatter control or alternate realities. You know what? Bam. Interdimensional can opener. No, that's not it. It's a specific interpretation used in relativistic quantum field theory to describe antiparticles. It addresses how mathematical solutions involving negative energy can be reinterpreted where antiparticles are represented as particles propagating backward in time in in that sense, I mean in a Cartesian in a diagrammatic sense. This is not a literal physical process where characters can reverse time, cause retrocausal event which obviously violate physical causality, or bend it, or control antimatter, or manipulate the direction of the particles. That's not how it works. Stueckelberg interpretation of Feynman interpretation have nothing to do with retrocausality or antimatter control and everything else, on to the point that you can actually time travel. No. Like for Garo, his case, when you actually observe the manga panel, you can see he controls matter and antimatter movement and cause particles and antiparticles to behave with opposite spin properties. And then the ability which he has is fundamentally direct manipulation of the quantum of physical properties. Like spin is an intrinsic quantum property, and controlling it would mean altering the state of particles themselves. You jackass, you don't know that. You have no idea. Like, however, Stueckelberg does not describe changing the behavior of antimatter or forcing antiparticles to move differently. What the fuck are you talking about? Oh, you don't know the time traveling technique or whatever that's shown in OPM. You are just ass. You don't know power scaling. But let me tell you, it is Stueckelberg interpretation. Why you sound so mature and completely unprofessional and completely you represent someone who has no academic or solution or whatever. Like, whenever you plan to debunk someone or something, you just actually go through some kind of Gemini AI scans. Like, you ask Google what something is or something not. Google can have a varied answer for a theory, and however you propose it, it is not going to give you an exact interpretation, because you have to search through forums, you have to search through different websites that are actually reliable and credible, like Stanford, for example, Britannica, for example. You never do that, or any type of research papers. All you do is ask Google what something is. I mean, Google can have different interpretation and different remarks for a theory or a practical experiment, and it will twist it into something. I will tell you, because you can actually ask Google why MWA requires uncountably infinite number of universes. You can actually ask that, and the Google will agree, and it will say, of course, for that, because free particles, wave function, splitting and decoherence, atomic disruptions, all of this will cause the leading to a bubbling branching of uncountably infinite number of universes. It would agree that. And also you can ask Google why MWA has infinite number of universes. You could ask that. At the same time, the Google will answer you that why it can have infinite number of universes. It will never correct you that it can have uncountably infinite number of universes. The problem is you're asking something to something else. Like, Google can have varied answers for everything, dude. You need to bring proof. You need to bring theoretical papers, website-based evidences that will correct it and connect to your particular argumentation. Not to mention your argumentation sucks. All you did was nitpicking my grammar. That sucks. If you believe you can actually beat me in a debate, we can conduct a debate. Just hop on my server, bro. We can conduct that. We can post the debate as well as for everyone. Let everyone see that. And coming back to the Stueckelberg mistake which you made, like I said, spin is an intrinsic property which you can't just barge into and differentiate or change it to the point that you will violate the physical causality or the laws of causality. Like the backward in time, most people misinterpret this. Like there was also another dude just like you. I'm not mentioning his name. He also did the same mistake and I smoked him. Yeah, the Feynman Interpretation, like the backward in time. He literally took the backward in time as violating the causal laws and going backward in time entirely. No, the backward in time description is a mathematical representation of particles' interaction and not actual ability possessed by an antimatter. Therefore, Caro's ability would be closer to a quantum manipulation, particle manipulation, or antimatter manipulation, not Stueckelberg. Not to mention, if you think I have been making grammatical mistakes, you could actually point me out. And I was too careless because I know my grammatical mistakes or in spelling mistake, they would never create a confusion in my scale. And they are not doing that. So I was not worried about anything else. But you are like, oh, you have this much of grammatical mistake. Like you have been conducting a very sophisticated mistake. Like what? Is that what you got? Is that everything what you have? You don't want to actually mold and throw against me? Because if that is everything, then I think you should probably quit tagging me into your every bullshit post and videos, because you have been proving yourself that you're not right for this. You're not cut out for this. And if you actually observe Saitoma's case, his particles are completely stopped. And now I explained this many times in 5 videos that why his particles are stopped and what are the consequences which you cannot avoid. So I'm not going to repeat that one as long as lecture. No. Like a particle being stopped refers to its spatial moment or momentum being reduced. Actually, in relativity, an object at rest moves through space-time and experience-time. Actual time travel requires manipulation of space-time structure, causality, a fictional mechanism which allows these differentiation in certain points in the timeline where you can actually travel back to that or manipulate that, rearrange that. Stueckelberg does not actually provide any type of method or activating theory for this. It does not allow a particle or a person or an object to travel into the past entirely by violating causality and explicitly never retro-causal event. So if I were to add manifold interpretation here, it will only break your argumentation to a level that you cannot even back it up. Because when I heard MWI here, the decoherence and the retrocausality, which is a very famous feat, have been shown in OPM, which most people know that. So according to that, since Garos even cause such reality to split into different branches that will relate to manifold framework, splitting, decoherence, which obviously genus as detector. So If the event actually influences previous events, that would be a retrocausal mechanism, which the manga has explicitly stated that it is a retrocausal mechanism. Because we're a future actually travel back, a future constant that travel back to the past and then change the past constant and then creating a beginning of a timeline or events from that. Like these ideas concerned with the structure of reality, timelines and causal relationship actually. And they do not concern the mathematical interpretation of antiparticles on a Feynman interpretation level. So your confusion, you have a particular habit, just like everyone else, jumping into conclusion as soon as possible to just prove that, I just refuted your argument. I refuted your argument, bro. No, you didn't. Actually, you never did. But people like you, they just believe that they did something. I mean, no. Your refutation was so poor. I mean, I can't even imagine how you made a 16-minute video which does nothing but explaining why my grammatical interpretation and writing sucks. And it's just about your own contradiction, your own straw man on reality and reality manipulation, fictional manipulation, and the arguments which I never ever created, and you are debunking the argument which I never created and trying to prove that you debunk me. I mean, what's all this? You know what, you can stop it here. That's good for you actually, because I don't want to continue debating with someone like you on YouTube, where I actually have to put effort in creating videos so long, edit it and upload it. I mean, this is not my type of method of spreading informations through YouTube. So we can actually have a debate, a live debate. Do you agree with that? I mean, of course, bro, there's no problem with that, I hope. So this type of Feynman interpretation stuff, I mean, if you want to debunk, you actually need a proper research on everything which I claim. You need to connect to the mind that it never happened there. You never do that. That's the problem. None of your research properly, none of you actually doing a constant which can hit my nerve to the point that I can imagine that I will call me or footage like one of mine actually. People don't do that. That's the whole problem. Doing something that you actually relate on and do is information which is in the constant you stated that you agreed that space-time is a mathematical construct which led what was that? Yeah, let me check that. Yeah, space-time is a mathematical construct that lets events and realities unfold. Mathematical construct, something, this is not entirely mathematical construct. This is physical as well as mathematical construct. You just stated that space-time is a mathematical construct. You know what a pure mathematical construct would be, or what type of existence it would have? You know what, there are like 4 types of existence, let me say that. First is physical, which is physical. Actually, they have experimental values on Earth, on the reality and universe. They're not merely a theory or anything else. They have proper experimental foundation to our reality. Next is immaterial. they are not physical, but they are not actually non-physical in nature. They don't have physical components like as atoms or anything else. There may be principles or constructs that are independent of physical nodes on a particular level, like they are material, like let's say soul. If soul exists, it's a material, okay? That's what it is. And certain force which have been shown in fiction, they are also immaterial, like the particular psychic force. Not every psychic force, but particular, of course. Physical, immaterial, abstract. Now coming to the point that most mathematical construct ideas, they are actually abstract, because they are existing on a completely different realm, and their applications, they does not have a physical endowment. They don't actually they are not actually physical in a sense. Their representation, their whole spatial temporality and everything else, actually their ontological existence, they are completely different and qualitative to immaterial and physical in the same way. Like a vector space. A vector space is actually a dimensional point in a Hilbert space, because a Hilbert space actually view a dimensionality, or actually the dimensional concept in Hilbert space is not spatial temporal in the manner. They are actually vector spaces. That's what it is. And next is non-spatial temporal. Non-spatial temporal means they are not actually non-spatial temporal on a level that even some abstract concepts, they do actually hold a particular spatial temporality and the differentiation. So that's what it is. Meanwhile, you just stated that space-time is a mathematical construct. Like, how the hell? It is not just a mathematical construct, it is a physical as well as a mathematical construct as well. Because you just stated that everything that unfolds in the reality, they are actually not physical in the sense, because they are mathematical. No, not everything is mathematical. And you are just relying on some definitions and everything else, which not even Google Gemini is actually, it is not even aware and not even credible at all. You actually need to go through many websites. You actually need to study concepts and formulate it according to the particular fiction which you are arguing for or arguing against. So do me a favor, go and study the basics, okay? Because you yourself, you admitted that Hilbert space is not physical. Yeah, I never stated it's physical at the same time, but because it's a mathematical construct. And you just stated that space-time is just a mathematical construct. No, space-time is mathematical as well as physical. Because when you throw headcanons like space-time is mathematical, you actually need to bring a proper induction, a proper explanatory factors, justification to them. Otherwise, people would misinterpret. And not to mention, anyone like me can easily utilize your missing points. You idiot. Try to do better. There was a mistake. There is a mistake in my video, which I also admit. You know what that mistake is? You never covered that mistake, because I interpreted chapter 203 last portal feat where he actually enters a portal to a dimension that exists between space-time. You know what? That one. So I interpreted it as some kind of 7D construct. That is so wrong. And later throughout my post, I corrected that. Because when something exists between space-time, a dimension that exists between a space-time, they are actually independent of the dimensional constraints of different dimensional models, and they actually surpasses these models as well. That's what it is. Let me explain to you, because you know what, any higher dimensional, extra dimensional model, they treat space-time like some kind of fabric of reality on a base level, or some kind of bulk level matter. They are actually stacked on a layer by layer. That's what it is. But these dimensional models, they never actually talk about a type of dimension that could exist between space and time on any theoretical basis. Okay, this is applicable through mathematical formulation or mathematical dimensional framework. It is completely possible, and I'm not saying that it is impossible in the mathematical or in the logical sense. What I'm repeating is the whole physical concept of dimensionality and physical causality. They do actually have certain rules, and one of those important rule is broken there, because the dimension that exists between space and time, they're not actually an extra dimension or any other higher dimension. They are actually a dimension there. If it is many dimensions, then they are actually dimensions that exist outside the constraints of many other dimensional models and on a physical level. And those physical dimensional models, they are not actually similar to this particular one, and that's the whole point. So this is not 5D or 60 or 70. No physical dimensional construct can be used here to define what type of dimensionality this is. Maybe we can interpret this into a mathematical level, because if you try to apply this on a physical level, then you are actually trying to barge a theoretical model of dimensionality on a physical level into something which completely exists outside those constraints. Do you understand? That's my error. And also, repeating again, I have actually made posts on this. People have seen this. They liked it, they shared it, they had their own comments and views. So this is not my interpretation, because I admit I made a mistake and I corrected it later. But you never do that. You are just, come on, you are just nothing actually. You are a lark. There's no limit to your lark. And you know what something is so funny. What makes it more funny about your refutation or your 60-minute video is that you actually never gave a condensation, any justification pattern or explanatory factors for any of my scale actually. And even if you believe you gave it, it is completely flawed, because I have already proven that why your scales, this particular video taunting me about OPM power scaling, asking me to learn it, you're never actually making any progression here. You're inclining means, yeah, that's it. And what was it? What was that? Your comment on Hilbert space and everything else in the OPM. Of course, I never stated that empty void has a Hilbert space level. You know what? Hilbert space level of manipulation or anything else. You actually need to check the video again, bro. I never stated that. And it was not an empty void debunk video. It was a video to debunk your ass fucking claims. Plural. So you're like, what? You said it is not possible. OPM doesn't have a Hilbert space level of MWI construct because you don't see that. That's your argumentation is that I don't see that how it works, so I don't think it exists. You never made proper justification for why it is impossible, or my argument is a contradiction. Too bad, bro. Too bad, because I have explained this in 3 videos why Garrow's atomic manipulation, his manipulation actually is on Hilbert space level, and even transcending that low reversal. I have proven that. I have made a recent video on that. please check it out, because I'm not going to explain that right now, because it's sort of a long explanatory argumentation. Because if I were to explain this video would hit 1 hour, I mean like 2.5 hour long video. I mean you're not gonna inspect all of this video. Obviously I know that you are not actually going to hear everything I say, because you don't want to. You would just hope yourself that I'm LARPing here. Meanwhile, I'm actually bringing condensation points and explaining why your argumentation sucks. Meanwhile, you never did that. So that's why my video is kind of lengthy. You know what? I'm not even going to defend the Hilbert space comment, because you actually never made a debunk on that. Like what did you say? You said that for the last scan you need to fully substantiate why Carl manipulating subatomic particles proves the existence of Hilbert space. You fucking dumbass. You fucking idiot. I've proven that in that particular video. It has some mistakes, which I covered in later videos as well. I've proven that. I mean, I'm not even actually skipping this one, because too many times I've explained this to many people, and as well as in my own YouTube channel. Even my recent video, it established why this is a complex field, and not something you can just, ignore it for the sake of ignorance. So, you know what? Let's just stop the cat and mouse chase and let's debate. Hop on my server, we can debate on this. You know what? Because I'm not sitting here with a pen and paper or a script and reading everything. I mean, this is not how it works. I'm too confident when it comes to debating someone on a face-to-face evaluation. Yeah, that's how it works. Because I'm not a YouTuber, I'm not a pro YouTuber. Even if I meant to say something, there's chances that I would forget something. Yeah. So that's why I create videos where I don't even usually speak more about something, and usually write a lot of paragraphs explain this, because if I were to explain everything, that the video will be so lengthy that people wouldn't mind to check it. So that's why the videos are like 5 to 6 minutes. I learned that, and for the sake of viewers and everything else, yeah, that's why. And funk, I mean, yeah, I do use any music which does not give me more copyright and anything that gives me views, because that's what I care about. Honestly, I don't even fucking care about that. If you actually believe you can debate and you can debate me and win against me, you can actually help my server, okay? Because I'm waiting for you if you are actually willing to debate me on this. And in that debate, I will prove you why Gauss subatomic manipulation has a leverage on a law of traversal level. And your thumbnail, bro, I never made an out-reversal Saitama scale. I never made that. I don't know what type of crack or meth you are on. Like, I don't even know, because I never made that. So it proves that you are actually viewing me as some another OPM scaler. That's the whole problem. Bitch, I never made an out-reversal scale. An out-reversal scale. All I made is minimum high out-reversal level scales. Okay? So that's it. Yeah. I don't know how to say a fucking outro. I don't fucking care. Actually, it's been a long time since I made a video, so I'm actually kind of slow here. But I won't be slow on debate. Well, I promise you, this is a promise.